Hey guys, welcome back to my colourful country life. I am so excited to share with you all today the newest book release from Melpomeni Chatzipanagiotou, which is Dream Voyage. I have been so looking forward to this book, and I didn't see any sneak peeks come through from Melpomeni either, so my excitement has been purely based on any book descriptions that I've read. And this was sent to me by the publisher as a pre-release. It does release on the 27th of February 2025, and I have this little press release here. So it says, embark on a dream voyage with Melpomeni Chatzipanagioutou's fantastical and intricate illustrations. In her detailed monochromatic art, Melpomeni takes you on a dream voyage in this new book in her colouring series. Venture into unknown worlds and discover new realms as you colour fantasy creatures and magical scenes. Prepare to be transported to the land of dreams where whales gracefully glide through the night sky and a mythical dragon emerges out of an egg planet into its own mystical universe. With a mixture of full-page designs and self-contained pieces, journey through 46 fantastical illustrations to colour, including a secret castle city surrounded by flowing waterfalls, an underwater scene that comes alive inside an ancient book, and so much more. Okay, so this book is the same size as Melpomeni's other 3 books, and this here is the UK edition. So it is both stitch and glue bound, and the cover is completely matte and flat. And on the back here we have a little blurb that says, prepare to be transported to a dreamland where nothing is as it seems. From a phoenix encircling a mysterious city to whales gliding gracefully through the sky to a mythical dragon emerging out of an egg planet, this book is a captivating journey through elaborate and unknown worlds. Discover these fantastic realms and bring them to life with unique colour. Okay, you guys know I love my fantasy themes, so let's get straight into it. Also, before we do start, just an FYI, this will be an in-depth chatty review. I will pop up a silent flip through on the channel a little bit later, so for those of you who prefer to just look at the pages without my opinions, once I put that up on the channel, I will link it up above here too. Okay, let's get into it. All right, straight up we have the image from the front cover here, and this is our title page. Just make sure we're all in screen here. Okay, so already there is so much packed into this little illustration. You've got a grand castle. We've got a ship swirling through these waters, a Pegasus or 2 or 3. There's a few on there, soaring through the night sky, even underwater creatures weaving into the scene as well down here. We have mythology woven into the fantasy elements, which is really exciting and right up my alley. Oh, this is absolutely stunning. This is our, I'll move my hands out of the way. This is our nameplate double page. Look at these details. There's so much to take in here. I think it's maybe a map of all our travels. That's us traveling here. And she's here in her flowing gown, this beautiful detailed boat. And it's like she's opened up this box and this whole magical universe has come to life from it. The level of detail on these pages is perfection. What an introduction to a book. I cannot wait to colour these 2 pages. Normally, I don't colour nameplate pages until I get to the very end of the book, but these are gorgeous. There's just so much happening in here. Every time I look at the page, I find something new. These are gorgeous. What an introduction to a book. All right, even the publisher info pages are beautifully framed as well with these intricate details. We've got swirling vines, floral elements, fantasy-inspired creatures. Look at these things like dragon heads and snake bodies. It's clear that every page in this book is going to be designed to immerse you in the fantasy. It is so well thought out already, and we haven't even made it past the intro pages. So we have this introduction here as well, and I'll read that out. It says, Embark on a voyage into the unknown. Explore a land of dreams as you complete this collection of astonishing and intricate images. Discover a secret castle city surrounded by flowing waterfalls, whales gliding through the sky, and a mythical dragon emerging out of an egg planet. The illustrations of these surreal worlds combine fantasy and magic with nature and beauty. Enjoy the journey as you bring them to life with colour. I am in love with this book already. Okay, this page looks fun. I think these are all single-sided maybe. I'll just move this across here and I'll move it back if there's any double-sided pages. But this looks like it's straight out of a fairy tale, or even one of my favourite reading books. When I look at these pages, I have a whole story playing out in my head. It is brimming with fantasy and mythology. There's just so much to explore. We've got the blended nature, the fantasy creatures, the grand structures. It just creates this beautiful magical scene together. So we've got this domed pavilion with a fire burning here. This part wolf, part dragon beast perched above. It's letting out this powerful cry as if it's protecting the realm. And in the distance, we've got floating castles, and the towers are rising from the clouds there as well, adding to that dreamlike quality of the illustration. This is going to be such a fun page to colour. So many opportunities for glowing effects, shimmering wings even. We've got all these little fairies down here, water reflex, magical skies. It's going to be beautiful. Okay, now we have this majestic creature at the center, and it feels like he might be the guardian for this city below. With its lion-like body, it's got these curled horns up here, and then these maybe like dragon wings with these feathers and florals. It has an almost chimera-like presence, blending elements of different animals into one mythical being. I'm not a huge fan of the way the city's been drawn though. I think I would have liked to have seen less mountains and more of a gothic style castle underneath him. But like I said, this is a single-sided book too, so you can use your markers in here, and the paper feels the same quality as her other books too. Okay. This page is like a portal into another world. We have this ornate ring design, which is framing this forest scene, where we've got this winding river leading to a distant lighthouse. The water is flowing out of the frame. That's a signature Melpomeni move. And we've just got these beautiful elements on the outside as well. Such a pretty page. All these beautiful florals and the metals. These pages are going to look so beautiful coloured. Such a beautiful book. Okay, so we have a grand piano here, which is overgrown with these flowers, and it's standing on these claw-like legs as a foundation for this sort of surreal world above. While swirling piano keyboard here is just floating through the sky, and you've got the musical notes as well. And then the page is just grounded with this nature scene below as well. Beautiful, beautiful scene here. Can you imagine all the different elements and the different colours as well? So nothing has to be realistic. It's very surreal, this book. Okay, so this page has a breathtaking Arctic fantasy feel. We've got this winged polar bear standing beneath the swirling northern lights. He's surrounded by some like icy castles, some frozen rivers, this gathering of penguins down the bottom. And we've got these ornate wings framing the scene, a keyhole at the bottom, and I've just noticed this key hanging from the top of the border too. This page is going to be perfect for your cool blues, your purples, and your shimmering silvery effects too. Just making sure I'm only picking up one page at a time so I don't miss anything. All right, so we have an island kingdom here with cascading waterfalls everywhere. We've got these towering castles and the ship coming through this sort of hidden doorway in the side of the island. It's like we've traveled from the last scene and now we're arriving here. This is a gorgeous page. I love these pages. Okay, so we have this majestic bird with wings inscribed with these ancient scripts. And it's holding a set of ornate scales here. This actually reminds me of Thoth, the Egyptian god of writing and wisdom. I think he's also maybe the god of moon too. I'm not quite sure. But sometimes he's depicted as an ibis, and he looks a little bit like he's an ibis. So part human, part ibis, I think, and also with a set of scales as he's recording everything that's happening. So that is what this page reminds me of. And you've got this beautiful sun in the background too, the water down the bottom. Yeah. Okay, this one's interesting. I'm probably actually going to say that about all the pages here, but we have this open book kind of depicting an underwater scene which has come to life. It's literally spilling out of the pages. This creature here looks like it's part narwhal, part bird. I think this page is going to look really nice if it's bright and colourful, really rich, vibrant colours. So just one page. Okay, oh wow, okay. So we have this swirling whirlpool and a towering castle rising from an island. The waves seem to be alive. They all have these little faces at the end. That's really cool. We've got a ship here. Maybe, oh, look, the ship's got a little bird for the face. I was going to say maybe, oh, it's got a castle on the back too. They all have bird faces. Every time I look at these pages, I see something new. I was going to say maybe this is us on our ship arriving to our next destination, but there's quite a few. This ship's got what looks like a hot air balloon on the background. So many fun elements. All right. So this is quite surreal. We have this hybrid unicorn-like creature walking through this spooky enchanted forest underneath these twin moons, and then the reflection of the water reveals this beautiful creature. And these trees all have faces on them too, so it's like this is really surreal, and then this is really quite normal looking, except for these interesting bird slash snake like hybrid creatures. But everything down here looks quite normal and foresty, and then up here it's sort of like this really enchanting feel to it. Oh, okay. We've got this mystical woman here. Looks like she's been summoned by this rabbit-like creature playing the horn. I've got another one here which is playing the drums, and look, it's got little bells attached to his ears as well. It's like the music that they've been playing has released this genie. We've got a lamp as well. Okay. Now this page feels like a gateway between worlds. We're walking up this like candle-lit staircase. There's candles all the way up there on each side to pass through this ornate gateway, this archway into a futuristic city. And it looks like a city in the sky here as well. We've got these floating whales, swirling clouds. Very interesting. A bit of a mix of fantasy and sci-fi. So you've got this city here floating or coming out of the clouds, and then you've got this futuristic city inside of this archway. This eye is watching what is happening as well. You've got the candles here, and we've got some light lanterns, some stars in the sky, so maybe a night sky. Very interesting. This page has a very mystical feel with the intricately adorned owls. They each have these sort of like ornate crowns on their heads and these sort of like antler-like embellishments. This one looks like it's coming from like a mustache up to be antlers as well. And it looks like there's a couple of little earrings dropping down here from it too. They're all perched within these delicate flowers. I've got these hanging lanterns with the fiery elements coming up too, with these wise, piercing eyes as well. Perfect page for deep jewel tones and some glowing accents on here coming from these lanterns. There's another one over here. Oh, so the lanterns are hanging off the branches. I thought the owls were carrying them for a second. Okay, we have a lot of treasure here. We have this large medallion or coin in the center, which features sort of like a mythical Capricorn-like creature with a ram's head and a mermaid's tail. Any Capricorns out there? I think we've just We've just missed Capricorn season, haven't we? We're in Pisces season now, I think. So surrounding it, we have piles of coins, ornate jewelry, these serpent-like bird creatures again. This is going to be a fun page to play with your metallic paints, I think. And the Capricorn-like creature, we've got sort of underwater. A little underwater scene here with the fish. All right, this page has a mysterious storybook feel about it. We have this three-headed wolf, a twist on a Cerberus perhaps. It's resting its paw on an open book as if it's reading the story, and then the cracked wall opens up to reveal this fantasy world hidden inside. You've also got these framed pictures too, so they're hinting at little different stories as well. This is a really cool page. Okay, we have this very majestic hybrid stag-like creature with these feathers on the end of his tail, and he's sitting on this really ornate, bejeweled perhaps throne. The throne has these unicorn designs etched into it as well, and then it's surrounded by this garden scene. We've got flowers, we've got these towering spires coming out from the center of these flowers, and we've got some jewels as well. There's a treasure chest here, there's like a diamond here as well. All these little fairies. Maybe we can turn the fairies into like fireflies and have them all glowing and pretty. Okay, so this is the full page version of the title illustration and the cover image. Now, I love how this magical world has been created within the surface of the moon. There is just so much to explore, so much happening. We've got these waterfalls, we've got all these different creatures, we've got the florals, the night sky, the castles, the boats, the water. It's got a little bit of everything, that page. Okay, we have a big cauldron here adorned with these intricate designs, a sort of butterfly design here, and it looks like it's bubbling over with swirling smoke, releasing these sort of magical creatures. We've got a fire beneath as well, and these potion bottles, lots of potion bottles. Very spellbinding picture indeed. Okay, here we have nature connecting with magic. This almost centaur-like woman with her ornate antlers, and above her are these branches kind of woven into like a celestial vision. This page is perfect for your earthy tones, maybe somewhat autumnal. I'm getting kind of an autumnal feel about it. Look at that tree growing out of the snail shell. Bit of a worlds within worlds twist to some of these pages, I think. Okay, oh, I'll grab two, I think. There we go. Ooh. Oh, I like this one. This is pretty awesome. This is... Okay, so... Oh, there's so much happening on this page. We have this ornate doorway here, this circular doorway, which looks like it's built into the side of a mountain. Then on the side of it, we have these lush florals and these kind of dragon-like serpent creatures again, which look like they're kind of swirling around and guarding this doorway, this gate. And the ship sail has that face on it like those trees from earlier. But it's as if again, like we've sailed from the last place, we're journeying from the last realm, and we're going to come through this doorway into this new realm. Very interesting. Okay, so we have we've got this towering cage here, which looks like it's actually growing from the wings of the birds to encapsulate this sort of floating castle. We've got this kind of contrast between freedom down here and then confinement up there. Okay. All right, so this is an underwater scene. We've got this massive sea serpent type of beast. We've got some maybe ancient ruins here, maybe a lost civilization. I can see this page really bright and colourful. We've got corals down here and seaweed. I can see lots of shimmery paint effects as well. Beautiful. Oh, I like this. We've got this hand holding this beautifully bejeweled hand mirror, which is reflecting this hidden world. And the mirror has these sort of cat faces on either side, and lots of jewels. Lots of jewels in there to colour as well. Some more swirling smoke. I'm interested to see all the different backgrounds everyone creates with these sort of magical swirls. Okay, now this page has a bit more of a dark mystical energy here. We've got this cloaked figure standing before this eerie portal, which looks like it's carved right into the side of the mountain here. We've got these creepy skulls and ancient bones, and it looks like they're also actually part of the mountain too. It's very otherworldly. I can see this one coloured all dark and mysterious, and again we have that sort of doorway, like we're leaving one realm and heading into the next. It's like each page is following a little story through to a different place. Now this page is quite surreal. This giant all-seeing eye weeps over this grand labyrinth-like city. We've got the mix of architecture and mythology. You can see some really bold contrast on this page too. And we've got this sort of like half unicorn, looks like a unicorn head, and half serpent body floating through the sky as well, and sort of this galaxy background too. Yeah, very cool. All right, we have this dragon-like creature. It's got the like dragon wings, but like a horse body, and look at the legs. The legs look kind of furry. It looks like feathers and fur. And then we've got this long, spiky, swirling tail as well. I don't know what these things are sticking out. Maybe crystals or something. And then we've got the fish here as well. So we've got like fairies or like butterflies here, sorry. And then fish up the top. Maybe an underwater scene. Maybe this is like inside of a cup, and maybe that's underwater, because the fish are kind of contained in that area. And then outside here you got the fairies. I don't know, so many different ways you could interpret this page. So this almost has like a snow globe feel to it. We have these stone steps at the base, and then you've got this winding path up to the temple. And then we've got this border that is framing the image with the silhouette of two faces. And you've got these torches that are lit up too, and these little creatures here. The amount of possibilities in these pages, I can't wait to see everyone's different interpretations. The possibilities are endless. I still don't know what page I'm going to colour first either. Okay, so we have this dragon or lizard-like creature coiling around here to frame this world with this sort of Asian-inspired scene. A perfect page for maybe deep emerald greens, fiery dragon scales, soft golden accents. I think the dragon scales would look great done with metallic paints too to make them nice and shiny. Yeah, I can see maybe like pinks and reds and greens and golds on this page. All right, this page I love. This is a dreamer's paradise. There's a cozy study filled with books and magical artifacts, and there's a winged cat overlooking the scene. Beyond the balcony here, we have a woman riding a whale on a cosmic wave through the stars, as if she's exploring different realms. I think this is going to look great with some warm golden browns, really rich colours for the study, and then maybe some cool tones for the universe outside of the balcony. And of course, you've got it up here too. Such a fun page. Got some candles. Yeah. Oh, this is our egg planet. Okay, so we have our mighty dragon here emerging from the planet, and he's breathing fire into the stars. There's some smaller winged creatures around as well, soaring through the space. Perfect page for maybe some deep cosmic blues and some fiery oranges and reds, and some shimmery metallics too. So a nice contrast between the deep blues and the reds and oranges from the fire-breathing dragon here. Some shimmery effects, I think, on the egg and the planet. And on the scales too, I think will be fun. This is cute. So we have our ship here sailing into the city. Above, we've got all these hot air balloons floating beneath some of the moon phases here. And to me, the land actually looks a little bit like sand dunes as well. And this looks like a sort of, both of them, they look like hybrid camels with a multitude of wings. Definitely think they're sand dunes. Or I would colour them as sand dunes. Oh, speaking of sand, okay, this looks like the desert or a desert scene. We've got lots of different cactus in the background. We've got these volcanoes up here that are erupting. This great big sun behind this hybrid bird-like creature. It's got peacock-like feathers and a tail, but the body of some sort of four-legged creature, maybe a horse perhaps. Can you just picture the arid sandy tones with the fiery explosions from the volcanoes and the huge bright warm sun in the background and the glow from all of these elements bouncing off the other parts, and you're going to get this great contrast with the peacock feathers as well. So you can have these fiery arid tones and then the sort of blue purples and greens with the peacock feathers. Okay, this swirling portal of energy actually looks like a mystic ball. We have this bejeweled stand here and this hand adorned with all these rings coming out of this stand. It actually looks like a cuff on an arm and then the hand coming out like someone's chopped the hand off. A little bit gruesome. But quite a pretty page actually. So we've got this hand holding this swirling ball of energy here. We've got some fiery tendrils coming out as well, and what looks like scarab beetles perhaps. And then this beautiful serene like village scene in the center. Bit of a contrast there. It's going to look amazing completed. Okay, so we have a swan adorned with these peacock feathers. It looks like a little headpiece there, and then she's got sort of like a seashell inspired wing. So this page is going to look great with some maybe shimmery water effect or maybe some reflections popped in there as well. Lots of waterfalls too, and then you get a glimpse of what's happening under the surface here as well. You got frogs with wings, fish. Very interesting. These are all flowers here. Look like donuts to me. Whoops. Okay. What do we have here? So we've got a magical tree entwined with this sort of celestial clock up here. There's fairies, whimsical castles. It's like a fairy treehouse leading up into this sort of magical world here. That looks like kind of like those sort of desert worlds that we've just seen. And then you've got this beautiful fairy wonderland. Very magical. Okay, so we've got a water jug here. And it's pouring out some water. We've got these flying jellyfish. They're just flying through the sky and then coming to splash in the water down here as well. So I think this is water and then maybe that is kind of sky. I mean, you could colour the whole thing as water, but I'm picturing that as sky. That is waves of water. And then inside the jug, we also have this sort of pearl being guarded by these hybrid creatures. This one looks like part narwhal, and then this one looks like part seal. Kind of looks like a punk rocker. seal here. Yeah. Very interesting. And what do we have here? We've got this elaborate pyramid guarded by these kind of serpentine dragons again, and then we have it reflecting in the water below with all this sort of jungle scenery, these sort of hybrid animals everywhere. They actually look really cute, these things. And this one's holding an egg by the looks of it. Pretty little birds. And another sun in the background there too. Now we have this bear-like creature standing in this river, surrounded by like flying fish. You've got this cool mountain backdrop as well. And the bear has his curling horns. He's holding this sort of faceted heart and maybe another jewel in this hand as well. Actually, when you look closer, you can see the jewels falling through the waterfall and into the river here as well. There's lots of hidden jewels on this page. The curling horns actually kind of look very snake-like too, don't they? Got feathers dangling off the bottom. This is pretty. We've got this multi-tiered fountain here, surrounded by these beautiful gardens. Of course, more hybrid animals. There's birds with fish tails. We've got flying caterpillars. The flying caterpillars are actually really cute. And they've got little butterfly wings as well. I think a soft pastel palette maybe would look great on this page. So cute. Oh, okay. So we have a forest scene here. The flowers are all scented with these watchful eyes, and we've got this sort of deer-like creature with maybe a dragon's face. It kind of looks a little bit skull-like, doesn't it? And his ears look like they're dripping with candle wax, and his tail is actually melting as well. It's like the candle is part of the tail. It's all melting. Candles everywhere actually on this page. Candles, lanterns. We've got winged squirrels, very magical. I think this would look stunning with some warm golden candlelight effects, some deep forest greens and browns. Okay, this one feels like something straight out of a fairy tale. We have a magic lamp here, like Aladdin's lamp, and it's pouring out this water onto the mountain and it's cascading down. It's as if the lamp has conjured up this whole scene. Would you colour the water blue, or would you make it more magical and colourful? Interesting, you can play around with so many different colour choices and just make everything really surreal on these pages. We've got a dragon with a fish tail drinking from the lake. We've got these tiny fairy-like creatures and they're sitting on these little lily pads. A couple of whimsical treehouse designs on the sides here as well. A whole host of other little creatures and critters hanging around. And then you've got this big glowing sun again in the background. I think if you use oranges to create a glow around the sun and then turned that background into sort of like purples and then deep blues for a magical twilight type of sky, I think it would fit wonderful with this fairy tale type of feel. This one's a little bit creepy. There's a winged fox. We've got peacock feathers for a tail, and then the flowers with human-like faces added. Bit of an eerie touch there. For colour palette ideas, I'm picturing purples, silvers, and deep blues, and then maybe with like an offset of maybe some reds for the flowers. I think that'll look quite pretty. Yeah. Okay. This one is interesting. It is an underwater fantasy scene. We've got these two seahorse-like unicorn, dragon, serpent creatures, and they're clashing. You can see their horns clashing up here over this underwater kingdom, which has lots of coral in it as well. And look at the water. It's got fish and seashells and all sorts of things here. This would look really pretty with some aquas and pinks, maybe some yellows and oranges as well. Okay, this guy is quite intriguing. It looks a little bit like a lynx, but with butterfly wings and a dragon's tail, which actually has a life of its own, as it's got a little face here and it's guarding all these different eggs here too. And this page is giving me a bit of an icy feel. We've got lots of crystals, snowflakes. He's wearing a little crown as well. So, oh, and look, we've got a couple more of these people. Cloaked figures with their lanterns. All right, this is quite a grayscale with a black background as well. So many little details on this page. As I think we come to the end of our journey here. So we have this massive phoenix or eagle with its wings spread over the city, making it feel a bit like a protector. And you can see all the different doorways down here into all the different worlds. We've got our cloaked figure with her lantern. Again, as she's coming maybe out of one of these doorways to the end of her journey. This is going to be an awesome page to colour. All the different details. All the doorways to different worlds. Flying sea animals. What a beautiful page. Okay, and here we have our very last page here. Just this final little image of a treasure chest. We've got some swirling energy here. It's as if it like is letting out the essence of the book. All the different magical worlds are coming out of this treasure chest. And each of these little creatures coming from the swirling smoke, they all have their own little key, almost as if they are unlocking the end of one journey and the beginning of another. Okay, so that is the end of the book. And I have to say, Dream Voyage is not quite what I was expecting. It's better. I think this may top Circle of Life as my favourite Melpomeni book so far. The mix of mythology, fantasy and storytelling through illustration is everything I love in a colouring book. Each page feels like an adventure. We've got different creatures, different worlds, and the level of detail is stunning. I know I'm going to have a hard time choosing which page to colour first. I cannot pick. I would love to hear your thoughts though. What do you think of this book? Which page stood out to you the most? Also, which one would you like to see as a colour along on the channel first? I think I would happily colour pretty much every single page in this book. So let me know in the comments, and I can't wait to dive into this book and get started. Now, I am also thinking of doing a community collaboration project for this book, like I did with Alien World. So I will pop up a separate video about that if you're interested in taking part. The last community collab was such a success. It was so much fun, and I think Melpomeni is going to love it. So what it is basically is everybody chooses a page to colour. I will put them all together as a completed book and send that video over to Melpomeni so she can see everybody's beautiful work. So keep an eye out for that video. And on that note, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Happy colouring, take care, and bye for now.